Good afternoon. The Know Nothing cook coming at you here again. And what we were going to do today is we were going to make a 3-bean soup. I don't think chili soup, but then the little voices in the head, the little voice, not voices, the voice in the head started speaking to me. Pasta fagioli, as we say in northeastern Pennsylvania. Pasta fagioli. Might be pasta fagioli, but we say pasta fagioli. And we don't wanna, you gotta listen to the voices in the head, you know, like when they speak, you gotta listen to them or, you know, you might go a little haywire. So, we discarded this. We're not gonna use the 3 beans today. We're gonna do the pasta fagioli. And what we did is a cup of the navy white beans, and here's where I got a little bit of a brain fart. Usually when I make this one, I use like I think they call it a cranberry bean, aroma bean, cranberry bean. It resembles the white navy beans, except it's bigger and it's got cranberry streaks all through it. And the kidney beans, kind of messed up there, but you can't really mess up with the pasta fagioli. It's just a different version of it. This is from the Emiliana section of Rome. So what we're going to do here is I took the dry white beans, soaked them overnight, and put them on the stove, boiled them, then simmered them for about an hour. And if there's not going to be any change to this, you'll know. Two celery, stalks of celery, 2 carrots, full carrots, about that one big, and 2 small to medium sized onions. This is gonna be a pretty big one. 1 can of whole peeled tomatoes. I'm using the whole peeled tomatoes because I had the last can downstairs instead of a tomato sauce, but I also like the whole sauce, the little bit of tomato chunks or whatever. But I split these, get the seeds out. I'm a little bit anal. I don't like the seeds in this, so I cleared them out, diced them up good, and they're going to put it in here with the juice that will be added. So we're going to take this, we're going to saute this in the pot with extra virgin olive oil. And what we have here, we have our homemade broth that I'm doing, vegetable broth. This here, usually what you'll do is you use like pork chops, and you'll cook the pork chops in with these because you want the pork juice. But we kind of don't use meat for certain things in this family, which the way it is, that's the way it is. So there's not going to be any pork or chicken broth. It's going to be vegetable broth, no pork drippings, which really is a good asset to this. Okay, from this point on, we're going to start the sauteing, and once we get to that point, we'll show you the next step. Okay, once again, there's very many ways of making this pasta fagioli. This one here, you can make it in a red sauce with garbanzo beans, a basic red sauce with maybe a slice of chopped onion and a cup of cream or something to lighten it. This one's going to be from the, I believe I said, the Emiliana Romagna region. And what we're going to do here, we have about a good half a cup of extra virgin olive oil and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Olive oil and butter go so good together. And we're going to saute this for about 5 minutes till they get translucent. And then we'll add the tomatoes and their juice, chopped up, diced. And then we're going to add the broth. And then finally we'll add the beans last. You don't salt, you put pepper. Don't salt this to the very end because you don't want to crinkle up the beans. And at that point, we'll know if we're going to need more beans or not. Okay, it's been about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. You can see that they have become translucent. We are going to add the tomatoes And being that I'm using dried beans, we're going to add the beans to this right now once I stir this around a little bit. And in fact, I'm even going to use the bean juice. And then we're going to cook this in here until I lost my train of thought here. Until I take the ingredients out of there. I'll strain them out, and then I'll strain them out, the onion, the carrot, and the celery, and then I'll add the broth to this, and it's going to become pasta fagioli soup. And we will decide on the amount of beans at that. Right now, that looks like it's a pretty good amount of beans. It's 1 cup of dried beans in there, soaked overnight, and we'll be back. The pasta fagioli soup is now complete. Let me take you through what we did. First of all, we were going to make the 3-bean soup, but the voices in the head were telling me pasta fagioli. So that's what we did. We came up with the pasta fagioli. We did 2 carrots, 2 onions, diced, and a cup of beans. Next time, 2 cups of beans. Here's when I know nothing cook made his error. But the good thing about cooking is you can salvage it and fix up your mistakes. So we soaked the beans overnight. Put them on the stove, boiled them for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now boiled and then like simmered and slightly boiling for that long. And then we sauteed the onion and carrots and celery till they were translucent. And a good 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. After they were, we took a can. Before we did that, here I go again. We took a can of whole tomatoes, seeded them, chopped up them, diced the tomatoes real good with the juice into the sautéed vegetables. In the meantime, when all that was going on, I made a vegetable broth. We're not using pork. You could use pork and chicken broth. If you take the pork chops, you would brown them, and then when they were done, you know, cook the vegetables with them, pull the pork chops out, eat them as a snack, put the drippings into the soup. But since I messed up and I only did 1 cup of beans with this, I took a can of beans that were, you know, the canned beans, the white beans, and we took the soup, put it into the blender with the beans, batches at a time, because you're going to take beans out of the soup and puree them. So this way here, I didn't take any out of the soup. I just used the canning for the puree. And this is what it ends up looking like. Da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And no matter what I am, I will always be with you. And this is one more soup in the wintertime that is dynamite. Now, we will cook ditalini on the side and pour the soup. I like pastas with the soup. You can eat this straight up. Again, drizzle olive oil when it's in the plate, extra virgin olive oil off the heat on the plate with some grated cheese. Dynamite. And if you're going to cook pasta with it and add it to it, always cook the pasta separately because you don't want to soak up all the juice out of there. This is the Know Nothing Cook coming from you from the soup kitchen. And hopefully you enjoyed this, and I thank you for watching, and we will see you again when we do the next soup, hopefully before the Super Bowl comes. Thank you again for watching. A like, comment is very appreciated. The Know Nothing Cook, signing out.